Welcome to Enlightenment Unknown, Life of a Spiritual Nomad. Join Reiki Master and Quantum Healing expert Wes Coons as he guides listeners through the depths of self-discovery and spiritual enlightenment to uncover the version of you we haven't met yet.
Welcome to Enlightenment Unknown, Life of a Spiritual Nomad. My name is Wes Coons, and welcome back. We are on special location. Casey, tell everybody where we're at.
So I'm Shine Yoga. We are primarily a yoga studio. We have 2 or 3 classes a day that we run regularly, but we run workshops and special events. We've actually had a couple of rock concerts here. A friend of mine is a rock performer. She's in a band, so we have
That's fun.
concerts.
Hey, I didn't know that. That's cool.
So much fun. Our next one's in January, but I don't have the dates in front of me. That's coming up. I've got 3 retreats coming up, actually. That's part of what we do at Shine. I do Reiki trainings. I am a Reiki master myself. We're in the Reiki room.
We are in the Reiki room, and we just say our prayers.
That's right.
Yeah.
All the lights are on. I'm not used to, I'm not used to having all the lights on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we do a lot of stuff here. We've got someone who rents out the back, Jenny DeCoster. She's a flex, I don't want to say a flexologist, but she's a yoga teacher, and she does yoga stretching and cool things like that. So we have massage available in this space as well. So.
You guys sound like hippies over here.
A little bit, a little hippy dippy. Yeah, that's
I
right.
always tease. I said, yeah, I'm going to my hippies friend's house. And they're
That's
like,
right.
you know you're one of us, right? And I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing Reiki?
Oh, gosh, Reiki. So I have, hold on, I've got to do the math. I got my Reiki level 1 before I owned the studio. So that's been maybe 8 or 9 years. But I got my Reiki level 2 probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And then my master recently, within the past year probably.
Nice.
So, yeah. So I've really just started in the past year really feeling comfortable around my own style.
Sure.
You know, you learn a certain thing and it's like, oh, I have to do it this way. And that has always made me uncomfortable. I'm not much of a rule follower. So I think a lot of us,
a
lot of us creatives.
I'm holy and spiritual these days, so I try to follow the rules, but maybe not.
Some rules are meant to be massaged a little. So I kind of had to find my own style with the Reiki process. And once I got comfortable with the idea that my style is also valid, I'm not exactly doing it by the book.
Sure.
Then that's when I really have sort of opened the door, those golden doors, to let in all the really powerful energy and cool things move through. One of the fun things, and you were talking something one of the podcasts I was listening to, I don't see people. I sometimes can feel them.
My favorite question. Do you see dead people?
I don't see dead people. No, I don't. I'm kind of glad that I don't. Not ready to invite that yet. But I get songs. I study music.
Oh, cool.
My degree is a music theater, and music's been a constant all my life. So I get songs a lot of times, and I'm learning to trust that when I hear a song there's probably someone in the room or something in the room who's offering me a message to give to someone else. So that was kind of a fun thing that I learned about myself that's just been, the past 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, that's cool.
That I've really learned to trust that.
Can you taste energy?
No, I can smell it sometimes, but I don't always. Yeah, I've never tasted it, but I can smell it. Yeah.
I typically taste, if I have a past life connection with somebody, I can taste the energy of it, and it's like it's this. It's hard to explain. It's like this deep, earthy. There's just a depth to it, and it's interesting to experience that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a workshop recently over at the ARE about that, and I wasn't able to go, but I'm fascinated by that whole idea. It's my understanding. I was raised in a Southern Baptist church, Southern Baptist home. When I was in high school, they left the SBC and we joined a different convention, and so it's a very moderate church, but we didn't talk about a lot of woo. There wasn't. Sure. Seeing dead people was like, oh, that doesn't really happen. Or if it does, then it's
devil's
bad.
work. Yeah,
right.
It's devil's work.
Yeah. So I didn't really come to the idea that it wasn't a bad thing and it didn't have to be dangerous or scary. And I mean, I feel like it can be, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah. I can appreciate where people are coming from. We were talking about a minute ago, I started this new segment of the show, Work Brain.
Sunday Preach. That one.
Yeah, the Sunday Preach. Yeah, well, thanks for reminding me of my show. The Sunday Preach, no shoes required, because of the guilt and the shame that comes around the organized religion.
Right.
I hear the same story with everybody. I didn't grow up in the church at all. I didn't know Jesus was a Jew until a few years ago.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
And that's still, I gotta be honest, it confuses me. If he's a Jew, how are you a Christian? How's that?
Yeah, right.
Wouldn't you be
Does that make
Jewish?
sense?
I mean, I don't know.
Why do you study a book that calls Jewish people the chosen people, and yet we're not Jewish people? It's crazy. But Jews don't believe that Jesus was divine. I mean, it's
really?
such a crazy.
Yeah, I don't know that.
A lot of Jewish people rejected him as if we're watching The Chosen.
Right. Yeah.
Have you seen The Chosen?
Yeah.
There's some deep stuff in there. So it's a lot of seemingly mixed up messages. I actually read the whole Bible last year.
Nice.
I did a plan, read the whole Bible last year. It was, and forgive me, it was awful. It was so hard.
It's difficult.
It is
the
very
words
difficult. It's a lot of death and punishment and how it's justified. And as someone who, I close all my yoga classes with, look through eyes of love and compassion, and I always choose words of kindness first to self and then to others. So to try to lead with kindness and go into this reading of this book that is divine, and there's so much war and punishment, and it's hard. It was hard to stomach. There's my kinesthetic. I'm studying my NLP stuff. I'm a Kia, so there's all that. I completely forgot where this was leading.
I don't know, but it's still fun. Yeah.
Yeah. It's being raised in the church.
Right. One of the things I like about my journey is coming into this. I really came into it with a clean slate. I didn't know anything about spirituality. I can promise you, from coming out of the Marine Corps into real estate, that corporate world, we were not going to be talking about any of this. Healing work, nothing. Then going through that awakening, and did you ever know Sandra Grace Brooks?
I don't think so.
I'll tell you what, if she's in heaven now, but not getting the opportunity to meet her I find it sad, because she was such a bright light. She always laughed. She always had this big smile, and she'd say, "Oh, that's cool. That's cool." And I miss her. Jesus showed himself to me during a healing session. Him being crucified, everything. And honestly, I thought it was just a silly joke, because I didn't realize that the Romans had crucified him. And I remember telling her, she could see it as it was going on, and I was telling her what I was seeing. She didn't interrupt. She just let me go. And at the end, she said, "Honey, that's who crucified him." I'm like, "Really?" Yeah. So it was kind of, it was like that God moment that came in, and Jesus is like, "Hey, pal, let me show you something."
Yeah.
That you never would have known about. It's kind of like waking up and I know how to pull the engine out of a Corvette, rebuild it, and put it back, and I never looked under the hood before. So I think about that a lot.
Yeah. And the things that you know that you didn't know that you knew, that's come to you in ways that are unexpected.
Do you ever find yourself questioning why you, when you hear something, you see something, you heal somebody? Because I think everybody can heal people. You don't have to be this trained. Jesus didn't come out of the burning bush and say, "Wes and Casey, you're anointed." But do you ever question, why me?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do that a lot.
And how? How me? Why should I be able to do this? I'm not special.
Yeah.
I'm just human, just like everybody else. But I think you talked about this on another podcast. I think it comes so much from trauma.
Yes.
And you don't get, like, we are born without trauma. I mean, we talked about this before. Our mothers and our grandmothers have trauma that we carry. We have trauma at birth, because birth is a traumatic experience, not just for the mother and the father watching, or the family, anybody, but also for the baby being born. the ways that we learn, our parents are imperfect. They're human and they're imperfect.
Sure.
And they can only do the best they can do with the resources they have and the tools they know. So we don't get to age birth without trauma, but much less age 50. Here I am at the big 50, still learning trauma about my own infancy. So I am a creative person, and I think genetically that's my makeup, just because my whole family has been creative. We're musical and artistic, and so I think that's some level of it. But I think also it's the kind of trauma that I was born into.
Sure.
So yeah, I do question that. But again, at the same time, a lot of people are creative and artistic. A lot of people have trauma.
Well, let me ask you this real quick. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Do you feel the heat coming in be on your left side, come into the room? Can you feel that pressed against you? Can you
Over
feel
here?
that? Uh-huh.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we started talking about Jesus, that's Jesus's. He came in closer.
He's here. Yeah.
I just almost started to cry.
Yeah. He is here. He's been here before in this room. Oh yeah,
Yeah, you can
it's
feel
big,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's part of why it gets so hot in here, I think.
Yeah, it's almost like somebody has a candle about 2 inches from the side of my face. And it's a beautiful experience. So I'm curious if people can feel it through the podcast. I don't know how that would work.
Oh,
but
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I would bet.
Yeah.
I would bet. Yeah. I have felt for a very long time that Jesus is my spirit guide.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. He's actually pretty funny.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. That's the voice I hear is the one you said just before, like, bro, like.
Jesus and Archangel Michael, I talk to them like they're two high school buddies. I mean, I hear them laughing, I hear them talking.
Yeah.
And when I did the Sunday Preach, that idea, Andrea came up with that idea 18 months or so ago.
Really?
So it's taken me a while to get there.
Yeah.
It's like we were talking earlier. You talk about religion and people aren't nice. And I didn't want to step in that realm. And
Yeah.
I knew that was in front of me for a reason.
You still have to get okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can be right in front of you.
Right.
It's scary as shit. And you got to get okay with it. Because you can't talk about religion and say shit in the same word. The same
I do.
sentence.
I'm the worst ordained minister ever.
And not be judged. Yes. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I started a group called Christian Yogis Who Cuss.
That's awesome.
There were maybe 3 of us in it. This Facebook. I just couldn't, like you said, it's hard. It's hard to go there, to be human, to come from a Marine background and have the language and the energy of that and as part of your history and
the
your
aggression
imprint.
and everything.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And try to marry that into, I'm supposed to follow the rules. I'm supposed to only use appropriate English words and not drop the F-bomb every other. I have a card.
Well, that ship sailed on me, girl. I was like,
I have a card that I got at it was like a women's brunch that we did. I don't know if Misty Brownell, she's in Sandbridge, and she does this women's group. And my card said at brunch, it was at my place, it says, use the word fuck like it's a comma. Like, this fits probably better than it should. But
yep.
yeah, so it's hard to go into that space of, I want to talk about trauma and I want to talk about having people's nervous system feel safe around me, you know, and still bring God and religion and to be able to say that Jesus is my spirit guide and that he is probably just hanging out over my shoulder. Because that's weird. People
It is. You know,
I look at you sideways.
well, when I started to look at what made me feel more comfortable with it is when I started to look at the apostles. And I'm like, man, all those cats were fucked up. And I'm like, that's me.
Yeah.
I mean,
They made bad choices.
With the Sunday Preach, I said on there, I said, if you want somebody who's going to quote the Bible, has been to church, done all these things, I'm not your guy. But if you want to talk to somebody who wants to connect with God, look at our gifts as gifts from God, and we have that conversation and we're imperfect, I'm a pretty good person for that. And I'm going to say what I need to say because I want to learn it and hear it. And when I say it out loud, I feel better.
Right.
And I love this work.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
It's good work. It's hard work sometimes. Mm-hmm. But boy, when you land,
Yeah.
when you land where you're supposed to land, it's like, like that deep sigh of like, I belong here.
Yeah.
This is when I'm doing good things.
Well, somebody had reached out to me because I talk about some of the work that I do with demons and stuff. I don't go looking for it, but she said, I'm scared to do Reiki because I don't want to see the things that you see. And I told her, I said, you're going to see what you're comfortable with.
Right.
My spiritual awakening, I was getting my ass kicked through that haunted house. And I was thinking earlier today that one part of the haunted house was I had left the house. I was living in the side yard in a camper looking like fucking hillbilly white trash, right? I got a Maserati in the driveway and I'm sleeping in the front yard. So the neighbors were like, what is wrong with you, dude? And
Is this in Great Neck? Was this in Great Neck?
No, I wasn't Great Neck then.
Okay.
I was down off of Independence.
Okay.
Yeah, back up there off that lake back there.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I remember when I got to the camper and I turned around, there was this demon in my bedroom window that had to been 7 foot tall, staring at me, and I'm like, I flicked it off, and I'm like, fuck you.
Right.
And I probably should stop using that word, but I thought about that so much that I literally was just in that window 20 seconds before. So I'm not afraid of them. I was terrified then, but I'm not afraid anymore. If you're going through your awakening or question your stuff, I think you're going to see beautiful things. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
But when I see that stuff now, I think it's just kind of funny.
Right.
So I'm just not afraid of it.
That's crazy. So it wasn't just the house though for you. Like it's
no.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. At some point, halfway through that summer, we did a ceremony on the dock and we helped all these slaves go home.
Yeah.
And just prior to that, I had been looking to try to fix it every day for months, and I ended up connecting with this lady from Madagascar. I don't even know how I got somebody in Madagascar, but that's how hard I was working. And she said, "You're too stupid to understand, so I'm not going to explain it to you." And is what she said, but she said every time you do a healing on the house, it's making it more powerful, and it was. So we did that really big healing on the dock that day with Sandra Grace, and that gave it the power to leave the house, to take over the property, and then at that point, it followed me everywhere from then on.
So what are you supposed to do if you're not trying to heal it? How do you?
I think this was
invite it
just
to
this
leave?
was a unique instance. I had.
Did they come with you, or were they there when you arrived?
There was something there. I ended up meeting the guy that built the house. I went to high school with his daughters, which I didn't know. But I'd put a post on Facebook about if you think something's not haunted. And I'd talked about the house. There's a picture of the living room. And this girl reached out. She said, "That's my house. My daddy built that house." And she came over and we talked. And so there was something on that land before.
Right.
It kind of went away, but we moved the swimming pool. And when we moved the swimming pool, we broke something
Open.
energetically in the ground. At some point, I heard this lion's roar in the living room. And the Bible says the devil will announce himself in the sign of a lion's roar. Well, I heard that, and it was terrifying to hear. And when I went downstairs, there's this demon was running at me, and he was as shocked as I was to see him. But that opened a portal in the dining room. And there was ultimately probably 5 or 6 portals in there. So I think basically what was happening is these guys somehow made it like a portal in, but there was nowhere to leave. So as these souls were being sucked in, they were feeding off of it and getting stronger. And it was bizarre, yeah, to say the least. But I mean, I would talk to healers and people who did that kind of work. And when I started to tell the story, there was many, probably 15 or 20 people that said, "Don't ever call me again."
Wow. Because they were freaked out.
They're afraid of it.
Could anyone else see them?
Oh, yeah. 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 The only person that couldn't see him was my buddy Ty. Ty would walk through there like nothing was happening.
He couldn't even feel it.
Nope, nothing.
But he was kind of out of Like energetically speaking, he was not attuned.
No, I don't think he was. And he was just so in love with Jesus and connected and stuff. And
Really?
I believe Ty was an angel that they sent to bring me through.
And he couldn't see them.
Nope.
And they didn't scare him. And he didn't scare them.
No, he would call me up. Yeah, I mean, this is a 4,800 square foot house. You
Yeah.
get a $100,000 pool we just put in.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty. I'm like, there's fucking demons better be having a good time. Because I'm living in the
Enjoying my
campground.
house.
But Ty's
Oh my
like, can I go
gosh.
use the pool? I'm like, it's nighttime. He's like, yeah. And he go in the house, use the pool like it was nothing.
Really?
Uh-huh. And
But
I'm like,
everyone else
all
could
right.
actually see them. Were they, like, what do they see? I mean, like, they just hang out in the corner, like, sit in a chair? I can't fathom.
I mean, the more powerful ones would walk around the house, follow you. When the priest was there, something came up and hit me in the chest, and I went backwards
I remember you saying that, yeah.
about 3 feet and about 4 feet off the ground. I mean, I was launched off the ground in front of the congregation of the church that was there, and you could easily if you couldn't see it, you could take a picture with your phone, and you could see the pictures in there, or look at the security camera, because they pick those things up. And
Right.
there was some pretty big ones in there. There was 2 or 3. They were like the head guys, and you could take a picture, and like the whole corner of the wall, you would see like hundreds and hundreds of these little distorted faces, and it was a lot. But typically, you didn't have to. You could. There was many times I'm standing in the living room and I could see something looking around the corner and doing stuff like that, or walking past me. The dog could see it for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Did they usually have physical, like, did they mess with you physically? Did that happen
yeah.
often, or
Yeah.
or was it
I
just
mean,
like a threatening presence, or
I would wake up in the morning with scratch marks across my entire chest, bite marks, bruises. There's instances where you lifted my shirt, you would see somebody's face inside of me pressed, trying to come out. That was
that's crazy.
that was a hard one to see.
Yeah, that's wild. So what happened? Like, is someone living in the house now, or did they?
Yeah, we fixed it. Lakota.
Yeah. I have not met her personally, but I know of her. She's been here.
Yeah, she'll be here in the next month or so doing some stuff. So if you want to meet Lakota or do a sweat lodge or something, we do those. You can reach out to me and I can connect you. But you guys should come over and meet her or do a lodge or something. But I didn't understand everything, what was going on. So the long story short, when I was molested as a child, something was placed inside me by that person. And which I didn't know till really near the end, because nobody said that to me. Sandra Grace and everybody just wanted to spare me some of the details. So Lakota kept saying, I have to fix you to fix the house.
Right.
They were like one breath.
Right.
And I don't know why. I don't know why it was like that. So we did that rebirthing ceremony on the mountain.
For you.
So I had 2 exorcisms before that. That was painful. I would not recommend them. So all the stuff you see on TV, short of the head spinning all the way around, is real. The screaming, when they splash you with the anointed water, it is literally like hot oil on your skin. And so we did that, but Lakota pulled out what was really there. And Sandra Grace would say all the time, when you do this kind of work, because she did that work, they would kick the little ones out. You would think you got it, and the big one would be deep.
Yeah.
And so once they fixed me, the house started to fix itself, actually. I think they knew it was coming. And by the time she got there, there was a little old lady there that greeted her at the door. And she's talking to this dead person. I didn't really see that at that time. And Ty was with me, and Ty is looking at me, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is happening?
Right.
And the little old lady was from the neighborhood. She said that she just liked me and I was a good person, and she wanted her to know that everything had left. She sang 3 or 4 songs, and the guy that lives there now loves it.
That's wild.
Yeah. So they, part of one of the ceremonies on there, it ended up making me like the custodian of the property without my knowing that was happening, because nobody ever tells you anything. And I'm like, no, that ain't happening. So long story short, I was told by this medium that was helping us that the house would pick the new curator. And so this guy worked out perfect. He's probably, between my dad and him, they're the two most disconnected people on the planet with love and light, right? There's no feelings, there's no emotions, they're just very type A. They're very wonderful people. He's a great guy. So whenever I see him a couple times a year. I'm like, so how you sleeping?
Yeah. Does he know the story of the house?
Some people have told him.
Yeah.
He didn't believe it. He didn't care.
Sure.
But it was
well,
fixed.
if he's disconnected and does it right.
Yeah, it was
well,
fixed.
even if it wasn't, if he didn't have the capacity to feel that, then it almost wouldn't matter.
Everybody told me to sell it, but I'm like, how do I sell something? Yeah. How do I sell you a car that I know could possibly kill you? Right. I'm not going to do that. So I had to wait till it was fixed.
Well, and you had to, even if you'd left, some of that would have come with you.
It was following me everywhere. You can't run away
for it, right? It's funny, though, that you say he was somewhat disconnected and type A. When you moved into that house, was that kind of you? Were you still sort of in that place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this was all part of your healing journey, traumatic and dramatic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's all part of that journey. I mean, God called me to the table. Just like I tell people all the time, if you show up in these healing spaces, you show up in my healing space, you're listening to this podcast, you're being called to the table.
Yeah.
There's opportunity there.
Yeah.
Pay attention. And like you said, when you got comfortable with your gifts, then your gifts got even more powerful.
Right.
I don't know. I just live a weird life.
Yeah. So do you freak people out when you tell them this story? I mean, I know a lot of people on the podcast have probably heard your story, know your story.
I mean, I'll start talking about this kind of work to a total stranger at the grocery store. I don't care. And maybe 3 or 4 times people looked at me like I lost my mind.
Yeah.
I don't talk about like the deep, heavy stuff, but not that I'm not telling the truth, I am, but people just believe me, and I'm just like, why would you believe that? Right? Like, that is such a big story that just total strangers just do.
Yeah. I think in the beginning I couldn't listen to your podcast because it was hard. It's hard to hear.
Yeah.
It's really hard to hear, especially if you come from a place of like light where I'm like, sometimes I don't want to know those things even exist. Mm-hmm. We just want to deny it.
Of course.
But we see it all the time in the news, and maybe it's not identified as such, but there's evil out there. But people don't want to acknowledge that. Mm-hmm. They don't want to hear the whole story. They don't want to admit there's truth.
I think life on this planet is difficult.
Oh yeah, sure.
And there's lots of moving parts and stuff, and then there's that stigma. Oh, you're doing devil's work, and I'm like, am I really? It's funny. I went to the church where the priest helped me. I went there Christmas Eve because a couple years ago I was there on Christmas Eve and I seen the angels dancing on the ceiling when they were doing their songs. So I wanted to see that again. And it's also one of the churches where one of the places they did an exorcism for me in one of the back rooms with the same priest. And I was by myself. I'm always by myself, but Abby didn't come with me. She was home, the dog. Mm-hmm. So as I go in and sit, waiting for the service to start, I'm watching these people come in, and about every 5th or 6th person, you could see this demon would show its face to me and just like smile. I'm like, fucker, I already know you guys come in here, so you're not scaring me. I'm like, in my mind, because we can hear each other communicate, I'm like, you can go back inside or I'll just kill you. It's up to you. I don't care. I sat there for a few minutes. I'm like, I don't need to be in this box to go connect to God. So I left. I didn't stay for the service.
Right.
It was interesting because one of the priests, I was literally this close as you and I twice. And I said, hey, Father, how are you? And he just walked past me and looked at me. And I'm like, I think I'm good. I respect what you do. I love this place. I love the priest that helped me. He wasn't there.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't need to be here. And when I left, I heard Jesus clearly say, you don't have to be there to talk to me.
Yeah,
and I just spoke to him on the way home and went home, and I went and spent time with my dog.
Yeah.
And
that's divinity right there.
Yeah.
Dogs.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just interesting. So that's when, and then I recorded the Sunday preach, I think, the next morning.
Oh, yeah.
I said, it's time.
The priesthood of the believer.
Yeah.
That's what our church always, Catholicism and how you have to go through the priest for forgiveness and atonement or whatever. And
Yeah.
in my church, we were always, they preached, they always talked about the priesthood of the believer. You've got a direct connection. Like, you talk to Jesus, you talk to God, you don't have to go through anybody else.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in the building. There is a lot of that in churches anyway, because they want people to gather. And I
Sure.
do think we have to be in community.
Yeah, and I don't
That's
have
important.
a problem with that. My
Right.
issue is the guilt, the shame.
Right.
You don't fit in. Yeah, I was in that church maybe a year ago, 3:00 in the afternoon. 3 of the 4 priests were in, I don't know what you even call it. What's the part where you sit and you're in the pews? What is that room called? You see how much I know the church. Where, the guy goes up there and preaches. I'm sitting in the
sanctuary,
pew.
you mean? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like in the 3rd row back in the center. Nobody's there. Those 3 guys are sitting there, and I'm clearly got my head down crying. I was just struggling.
And nobody came.
Didn't even look at me. How do you not see me?
Yeah.
I'm 6'1", 235 pounds. My shoulders, I have to turn sideways to get through the door half the time. They didn't
That's
care.
a lot of energy, too. How
Yeah.
can you not? I can't imagine. I can
Yeah.
feel that from here.
Yeah. I mean,
can't
I
imagine.
was 18 feet away from them
Yeah.
in a giant room. There's
Right.
4 of us.
Right.
And not one of them looked. Not one of them came to say hello. Not one of them asked, can I pray for you? Nothing. And I'm not disrespecting them, but that's the experience that I get. And I hear that all the time from people. And so that's why I'm like, I'm going to modify my podcast and talk about God because I've wanted to, but also I didn't want to be called religious because that you might as well call me a motherfucker. Because when I connect on the religion, the what do you call that? What do they call that? Organized religion.
Yeah. Right.
When you connect with the organized religion, nobody's really been nice to me, right? And when I started talking about God a little bit on Facebook, there's friends that I've been friends with 30, 40 years, and they're correcting me. Instead of saying, hey, dude, good for you. You went to
Right.
church? Great. Oh, you didn't say the words right, or you this and that, and you did it wrong.
You
Now
did the song. You
you're
stood
going
up
to
at
go
the
to
wrong
hell.
time.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, delete, block.
Right.
And
Well, it's so politicized now. Organized religion is so politicized.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's not a weapon. It just should not be used as a weapon. And it has been.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been used as a weapon
is,
anyway
yeah.
for years and years. But
Yeah.
now as a political thing and the division in the whole religion aspect
I think this.
is ridiculous.
I think whatever you like, as long as you're not hurting yourself or somebody else's, do what you want to do. If you're white, black, gay, if you're transgender, if you identify
Right.
as something other than what somebody else might see you as, I think you're probably exactly where you're supposed to be, and good for you. I don't care.
Right. Right.
I can talk to Jesus. I can hear God. I don't speak to God the way I do Jesus because he's kind of like talking to the
Different. Yeah. Yeah.
yes, no, maybe so is about what you get, but it's a different energy. And I still kind of question how it's all real because it's just so big, but I know it's
Right.
real. I've seen it.
Right.
I've touched it. I've touched his feet. I've done that. He's brought me to where he's being crucified. And I know all that stuff is real. And these beautiful gifts are real. And then I get to meet people. I mean, I say all the time on the podcast, I get to sit in a room
Yeah.
with some of the most powerful women on the planet, including you. And that's a blessing. For me to be here to do that is
Right.
a blessing.
The community is a huge, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a huge part of that. Yeah, the idea of the Trinity is just like, it's bananas. Because I'm with you. I hear the people in my head where like, oh, you talk to Jesus and God differently. Like, why? They're the same. Like, well, they're really not.
They're not.
Energetically speaking, God and the Father, the Son, and the Spirit are different.
Yeah.
There's a whole separate energy.
I feel the Spirit. I talk to Jesus and I speak to God.
Yeah, right.
Because when I did the first episode the other day, my prayers are different. I'm part Cherokee. I recognize the 4 directions, Mother Earth, my open heart, and I pray to Jesus Christ. And I've been told, since you talk to the other people first, you're praying to them. I said, I am honoring them. And in the Native American culture, they are considered archangels. So let me do it my way, because when I
Right.
do it, my hands are on fire.
Right.
You can feel the energy building.
Yes,
And
yeah.
for the first time ever, and I've done thousands of healing sessions. I've done that prayer thousands of times. When I did that to record that episode, all 4 of the directions, I clearly heard them, because they'll give me messages like on who's on the table, what to do, telling me how proud they are of me and all this stuff. They've never done that. And Jesus and I and Archangel Michael, I mean, literally, I sat there for 5 minutes just talking to them and teasing and stuff. And
That's cool.
it's never been quite that deep. So it is cool. And they know I want to go home. I'm like not in danger or anything, but
Right.
those are my friends. And,
Right.
and so imagine, for me, it's like, hey, you seeing your 2 buddies that you grew up with your whole life.
Right.
And they're in Tennessee and I'm here type deal.
Yeah.
But
It's familiar.
Yeah.
It's a place of safety. It's a place of home, of familiarity, being family. So yeah, I get that.
yeah,
That's
and
cool.
Archangel Michael, we tease each other and stuff. And he's like, I know you want to come home, but you ain't allowed to come home yet. You're going to be there a long time. I'm like, whatever,
good
dude.
for
And
us.
you can hear him laughing
Good
and stuff.
for us, though.
And he said something.
You've got
says-
work to do, man.
right?
Yeah.
He said, hey, how'd you like the last girl you dated? I'm like, whatever, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't mess with me on that.
That one a year
You don't
so
get
back
that
was
one,
hard.
man. You can't go with me with that one.
Yeah.
That's
but
funny.
he also said you learned your lesson. And that's what
Yeah.
that one was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had prayed.
many
I'd
lessons.
asked God. I said, I want to have the love of my life. I want to be in love. I want to get married. I want to have the love of my life. And
Yeah.
he sent somebody in that showed me everything I needed to heal and taught me how to love myself. So I got the love of my life.
Right.
I just had my ass beat
This is different. Yeah, than
Up.
you expected. Yeah.
to get there. But I was willing to let my ego set aside, look at my responsibility, because the reality is she didn't do anything to me I didn't let happen. If I loved myself and respected myself, I'd have been out at the 3 week mark. Quite frankly, we wouldn't even had sex the first time, right? And because if that showed up today, I'd never go down that road.
Right.
I've healed that. So I am so grateful.
I'm glad that you said that, because that's the other side of what I do, some relationship coaching. And I know you were there at the meeting where Jamie made me the name tag. I love to talk about sex. Like, you can't talk about sex in the context of religion and spirituality
Yeah.
and all those things, but in a good relationship, a good solid relationship, like, that's a gift.
Yeah.
That is a God-given gift. Like, we are created that way. And when you share it with someone who doesn't deserve it, you get yourself into some hard places.
Yeah. I mean, you want to change your relationships, don't have sex right away. Because
Yeah.
when I started looking at it that way, there's been several opportunities over the years where I'm like, had I done the old version of Wes, and I think a lot of people probably
Right.
get there quicker than later, I would have shared my soul. I would have shared my
Right.
energy with somebody I don't want to be
Right.
with. And I'm not disrespecting that young lady.
Right.
It's just, you're not my person, and,
Right.
and I want somebody that's more healed. I need somebody more healed. I need
Right.
somebody spiritual. I need somebody who is doing the deep inner work.
Right. And when you're ready to share your soul first, like, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
And if you go and share your body before you share your soul, then you've already shared something that's, I'm not going to say it's harder to take back. It's impossible to take back, but you can't take back sharing your soul either. So, but when that's not aligned, it's just incredibly painful to make that break.
It's interesting. I was talking to a friend, a client last night. She is actually getting divorced today, so good for her. But long story short, there was a gentleman in her life, and she said, could you clear me? And when I looked at it, I was pretty confident I had cut the cords between them when I did that. And she texted me like 20 minutes later. She said, what did you do? I'm like, why? She said, because so-and-so is reaching out like a madman. I was like, well, he felt the energetic cord connection between you
Right.
guys being removed. So,
Right. Trying to reconnect.
yeah. So basically what that means is every person you've ever been intimate with, even if they didn't have permission to touch you, there's a piece of them in there. So we go in,
Right.
and I clear that from past lives and from the beginning of the time and end of time. So I go a little bit deeper now. And it's interesting when I start saying that doing the prayer to call that energy up to see it. When I start talking about past lives, other dimensions and stuff, it gets thicker and changes. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. I've done some past life work recently with somebody who's doing a quantum healing therapy program.
Oh, cool.
Dolores Cannon, I think, is the
Okay.
who she's studying that method. And that stuff's fascinating. The
Nice.
idea that I had no, because religious backgrounds, like you die, you go to heaven. We don't come back as guides. We don't come back with new lives. Like we didn't talk about those things. So the idea that I'm getting this, not to mention the connection with other people, connections I have felt with other people recently. It's just like, we've been here before. We've
Yeah.
had a
Oh, yeah.
chapter together.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we've had a chapter together
Yeah.
somewhere back in the line. That's fascinating to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know? The things that we bring with us that we don't resolve, that we have to carry forward,
Mm-hmm.
God forbid, and then not to mention the stuff in this life that we carry forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Well,
Whew, yeah.
we're both friends with Megan,
Mm-hmm.
and she was somewhere last year, and she hit me up. She said, "Hey, can you clear this house? There's some bad juju in here."
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "I'm here with a friend of mine," and I instantly knew, without seeing this girl, knowing this girl, never met her, nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and they were in Tennessee or something. I said, I know who that is.
Yeah.
And she and I are like, we talk all the time. I mean, not on the phone, but we'll text and on a regular basis. And it's like I'm talking to my buddy from 700 years ago.
Right.
Right. And
Energetically.
yeah, I don't even think I've heard her voice, actually.
Really.
Yeah, except for she'll put something on Instagram or whatever. But yeah, never
Isn't that
been
funny?
in the same state with her.
Right.
And I feel like
But
she's like
energetically
one of my old
connected.
friends.
Right. Right.
It's kind of cool.
It is cool. It's very cool when you see someone, you're like, where do I know you? Like, I don't know. And then you can't figure it out. And it's like, well, we must have
Yeah.
had another lifetime together.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then some of the people look at you like, what? I don't know about that.
But it's real.
It is,
You walk
yeah.
in that room and you instantly feel comfortable with somebody. I'm
Right.
like, that is somebody from my past.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really fun. So if people want to connect with you, people
Yeah.
want to do your workshops, do your stuff, how do they find you?
Yeah. Well, I've got a website.
All right. What's your website?
Shine Yoga VA Beach.
Shine Yoga. SHINE, right?
Yep. SHINE, just like the light shines. Mm-hmm. So, and we're everywhere. All of our platforms are Shine Yoga. So we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. And that is probably the top 3 places that I put stuff. We have a newsletter, of course. So that's, I'm trying to think where else you'd find me. That's where we are.
Well, we were supposed to have done this podcast like 6 months ago.
Yeah, no, I saw that in the chat. It was like,
Yeah.
oops, we.
Well, summer happened, and I had
It
some stuff. You had
did
some
indeed.
stuff, and once I had like 6 or 7 episodes set up. Then summer hit, and
Right.
people have families, and so we're getting back to that. But Casey, I want to say thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be
I'm
here.
so
I've
glad
always
you're
liked
here.
and respected you.
Yeah.
You've been kind to me, and I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you. I
You're
mean, I
welcome.
appreciate the opportunity to get to. I love to talk about what I do, you know,
It's fun.
because it's good stuff, and to get in the same room with people who understand the
Sure.
energy, moving energy, and getting together, and you and gosh, the first time you were here, it was a sound healing.
Yep.
No, it's been years.
Yeah.
I feel
it
like
was, who was that?
Janair.
Janair.
Uh-huh.
God, I love Janair.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
haven't
whenever
seen
she
her.
shows up, I cry every freaking time.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like my mom's energy comes with her. It's really interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but I feel like it was one of those things that was like, I know you from somewhere. Maybe it was real estate world because I was an agent for a minute.
Yeah.
A minute. And
This is my 32nd year.
wow.
Yeah, I've been there 2 minutes.
That's crazy. Well, you started when you were like 13, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's crazy. 32 years. That's a long time. Yeah, that's a lot of real estate.
Yeah.
I did not hang that long. It didn't work out for me. Too creative, too much like
Yeah.
not organized and all
I
that
get it.
stuff. But
Real estate's interesting.
it is very interesting. It's actually, when you talk about energy, like you walk into a home, you meet with a client, and you have the energy of the client, and then you have to match them with the energy of a home that fits them, that they're comfortable. And during COVID, people were doing that sight unseen, buying
Oh, yeah.
houses that
Yep.
they'd never seen before. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So what a huge service. Yeah, so January 20, I'm going to say this wrong. It's the 4th weekend in January. It is a completely unplanned weekend. We're not planning food. We're not planning any structured activities. We have 2 houses. One house will be kind of the quiet area. Like if you want to go and pop in your headphones and write, like my thing, I have a curriculum in my brain that it's rolling around that I want to finish. Like that would be, I'd go sit on a couch with my laptop, clickety click, spend the whole weekend doing that. Or the other house is more of a collaborative, big dining room table, bright lights, lots of natural light and stuff. And you can come and collaborate with friends, talk about projects you want to work on or get feedback on a project. So that's the co-working retreat in January. In March, my husband and I are leading a spring solstice retreat. And I don't know the dates. It's probably the solstice, it's not a solstice. The spring is an equinox. Am I saying that right? It's an equinox. It's the 20th. It must be the 20th because that's when the equinox is. So it's like 19th, the 21st. We'll do some yoga. It'll be a little more free form, more structure than the co-working. We're trying to do like bargain basement pricing because there's really no structure, but we've got to pay for the place. So there will be more structure in March. Some yoga, sound healing, time in nature. And then in May, 15, 16, 17, that's the ancestral healing retreat. So that's when Robin comes down from Long Island and some of her crew. That's the Hellinger method I was telling you about with family constellations. And so we spend the weekend, we do some yoga, we'll do a sound healing. Have you been to Ascension and OBX Ascension? No. It's a little shop down there. We'll rent out that space and use it for yoga and sound healing.
Oh, cool.
And then we do most everything else is just at the house. But family constellations are incredible. It's the idea. So I'm going to explain this very poorly. And when Robin hears it, she'll have to correct me. But so ultimately what we do in the constellation, Robin facilitates, the room chooses the person, right? We go around and everybody decides, am I ready to do this work or not? And then we all kind of throw our name in the hat and we pick a name out. And so the subject of the constellation builds their family. They choose people who are, and you don't even really know it at the time, but they're energetically aligned with what you need to represent. So I'll place my mother and my father. And then we move around the room in a way that creates this 3D family dynamic that you wouldn't otherwise have. I might place my grandmother on my mother's side and my grandmother on my father's side, and we start to build this constellation. And it can go back generations. We added my brother. I'm trying to think how far we went back, but it's just an incredible picture in 3D of your family, and it gives you such perspective, and there's so much healing in that, whether it's your constellation that we're working or if you're standing in for someone else. It's incredibly powerful. It's really powerful.
And I tell you what, if you listen to the show and you have no idea what we're talking about right now, neither do I, but she does.
Yes.
But it sounds interesting. I don't need to know how to do it to get better.
Yeah.
So if you want to get better,
it's an incredible weekend. The last year we did it, and the weekend was just perfect. We had great weather. All the right people fit into the right places. I mean, it's all about being where you're supposed to be, and aren't we always? We're exactly where we're meant to be.
We are.
So lots of opportunities there. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, thank you for having me. And
I'm glad you're here today. Thanks for coming to my little space.
Yeah, check out Shine Yoga.
Yep.
We will see you on the Sunday Preach as well.
Awesome.
Thanks Casey.
Wes.
All right, bye-bye.